2 gunshots just went off. Literally over there. I have to be quiet. I was just further up the river, down by the weir, and I got challenged. I had no idea anyone could even see me. I was in the middle of the river. Right guys, welcome back to another very British adventure, and in today's video we are going to be pushing the limits of my second-hand inflatable kayak to the absolute max once again as I attempt to complete my river Stour exploration. This is the 3rd video in a 3-part series, and we are going to be tackling weirs, waterfalls, rapids, and on top of all of that I'm going to be camping in my kayak at anchor in the middle of a river, but this time with no tent. Just out in the open, under the stars. I don't know how it's going to go. Will I roll over in my sleep into the water? I haven't got a clue, but we're going to find out together. Let's go. Alright, so we're back on the river and it is leg 3, and this might be potentially the final leg. I've given myself a couple of days to try and paddle all the way down to the sea, or certainly at least the harbour in Christchurch, which is where this river Stour finishes up. And for those of you who are new here, maybe this is the first video you've seen, I've actually been tackling this river in multiple sections. In 2 previous videos, one you can see here, another you can see here, and I'll link to those in the description so you can go and find them. But it's nearly October. What a beautiful day. This is amazing. Just over there I can hear the sound of running water. It sounds like there's quite a drop going on there. I can't see anywhere to get the kayak out, and just to add insult to injury, we've got a couple of swans, and swans haven't exactly loved me on this trip. And again, if you haven't watched the other videos, go back and watch them. I think I literally got attacked by multiple swans. One of them even hit the kayak, but let's go and have a look. It's not a weir, I think we've got a little waterfall, so let's go and have a look and see what's what. Now, whilst I realise for some people that probably looks like all kinds of fun on a kayak, a great big inflatable kayak that's already been punctured once, yeah, I'm not sure I want to brave going down it. I'm going to see if I can get across it somehow. But the water's really deep here. Well, it's like 4 foot deep. I don't know if waders on either. Made it down in one piece. Well, this trip didn't waste any time at all getting a little bit spicy now, did it? And that's what I was looking at on Google Earth when I said I think this 3rd leg could be the trickiest part of the entire trip, because it looked like there were lots of areas where there would be some tricky terrain and weirs and rock pools and waterfalls. So there also looks a lot of thick marsh, and in fact that's exactly what it looks like we've got coming up here. Check this out. Here, that looks like a way through just about. Otherwise we'll be in a tricky spot. Oh. Wow, this is super tight. Wow, I can barely get through. Oh, we made it. Oh, it looks like a tree might have come down across the river. Let's go check it out. That might be a bit of a pickle if it has. Huh. What are we going to do about this? Right, so this oak tree is going right across the river, and the current of the river is trying to pull us into it, so we're going to have to backpedal a little bit, but there's marsh everywhere. So we're going to have to try and figure out where we can take the boat out and do some sort of portage I don't think this is going to be easy because it all looks quite swampy back there, so this could be tricky. Never a dull moment. You definitely don't want to climb up there. Look at the state of that. It's a very, very steep hill. Won't be dragging it up there anytime soon. Oh, going against the river. It's quite a workout, and we've got quite a steep embankment as well. This is going to be tricky. Alright, so I've had a look up and down the river, and this is the only place I think I stand even half a chance of getting out. Doesn't look like fun, I'll tell you. But needs must. Alright, it looks like I'm going to have to drag this kayak through about 100 odd metres of ankle deep marsh, so fun. Right, so I'm just in this marsh trying to press on through, ankle deep in both mud and water. It's kind of stuck, and 2 gunshots just went off literally over there, like right next to me. Sounded like a shotgun. Christ, on a bike. I don't know whether somebody's duck hunting or what, but I could really do with not having stray slugs flying past whilst I'm trying to get through this marsh. You ever get the feeling sometimes you've just bit off more than you can chew? That's what this trip's starting to feel like already. Like, do I turn around and go back and drag my kayak up all those rapids that I've just come down? Probably not. There's nowhere to get out here. And I've got someone firing a gun over there, and that's even if I even get through all this. Oh well, we're here now. Famous last words. Let's press on. Okay. I bet I haven't done much more than a mile, and I'm absolutely shattered. Oh. Alright, let's see what the rest of this little adventure has in store for us, huh? Well, this certainly feels a little bit more civilised now. We've got some deep water, the river's opened up a bit wider. As we get closer to the harbour and the estuary, that will continue to get wider and wider, the river that is. Got some sort of shelter. Looks like someone's building a cool cabin, perhaps. Up in the woods, backs down onto the river. Not bad, eh? I wouldn't mind. That's for sure. Hear that all too familiar sound of rapidly running water. That means one of two things, either a weir or some kind of waterfall. So let's go check it out and see if this one looks as treacherous as the last one. See if there's an easy way over the edge. The water's pretty deep. See, the tricky thing is if the water's deep right up until you get to the edge, I can't just step out. And there's no obvious place for me to get out and portage the boat round. Just a waterfall. Alright. I mean, waterfall might be a bit hyperbolic. Water falling over the edge of a small drop. But enough to be a pickle in an inflatable kayak. Right. Couple of horses in the field.
obvious way round. I think we want to go that way.
Getting the hang of it now. Whew. Yeah. Tell you what, I could do with a bite to eat soon, but I just feel like I haven't made anywhere near as much progress as I was hoping to. So I just want to push on. I'll probably push straight through lunch, and I'll find somewhere to drop the anchor and camp for the night. I think maybe I'll just have a big feast and sleep then. Stagnant water in this bit. It's a bit stinky. A little bit stinky. Alright. Alright, and we're through. Another obstacle. I should film more of the long protracted runs where there's not much going on, because the way this is going to edit, it's going to look like it's just hellishness. Can't hear any weirs or any waterfall yet, but there is acceleration. So it might be a pinch point in the river. Maybe we're approaching a bend, or more than likely there's some sort of water feature. Tight spot. There's that noise again. How big are these falls? These sound pretty gentle actually. These ones are no biggie. Alright, well that one was a bit more civilised. Now it's an adventure. Wilson! Couldn't resist. Guys, I come in peace. I mean you no harm. This tree that's going across the river is a pickle. How on earth? Huh. Less than ideal. Less than ideal. Okay. Alright, I think I'm on like plan C now. I'm going to try and stand on it, dunk this branch into the water, push the kayak over, see if that bears any fruit. Come on. Come on. Come on. What do I think I'm going to get stuck on this? Okay. I think we're through. Oh, this stretch of the river is hard work. You have to earn it. You have to really earn it. Alright, battery's flashing. Beep, 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 beep. It's about to go out. Let's find somewhere to pull over. Alright, battery's back to 100. Let's rock and roll. A cunning piece. I know it feels a little bit like I'm chasing you. I'm not. If you pull over, I'll just swing straight past and you'll never see me again. Although if I was being chased down the river by a middle-aged ginger on a gigantic inflatable blue torpedo, I'm not sure I'd be convinced either. Ah, another obstacle. Sorry mate, it's alright. Oh bless you. Okay, oh, I think we're going to be stuck here for a while, so if you can show me a way through. I don't really want to box you into a corner. Oh. It looks like both of us are out of luck. You know, out of all the things I thought were going to be a pain in the backside, fallen trees weren't the one. Alright, let's try that little trick again. This one looks like a better branch to take my weight anyway, so let's see how we go. Oh. Alright, so far, so good. This water's pretty deep here, so I'm really not wanting to fall off. But this doesn't look wide enough to get my D through. I've got no saw with me. So I'm going to have to go down to the thinner end of the tree, which looks way more sketchy to stand on. So I did just go in the water, only knee high. That I literally was clinging to a branch. If that branch was a little bit weaker, I'd have been all the way in, and this dinghy and this kayak even would have been capsized. How much of that near miss did you witness? Didn't realise I had an audience then, as I nearly went in the water. I'm going to sleep so well tonight. I've gone and got a whole family of swans in front of me, and even though the chicks look fairly grown up, I understand the parents can still be quite protective over them, so it's a bit of a skinny stretch of river as well, so I don't really want to get on the wrong side of them if I can help it. Oh yeah. There we go. Wasn't so bad, was it? Later. So the afternoon is now starting to head into the evening, and I am starving. I haven't eaten all day. But there's one more weir, there's quite a big weir that I want to just get past first, and if I can get past that and get back in the water and press on, then I think I'm past all of the big obstacles, I think. Although, as you could probably tell, my organisational skills aren't necessarily Boy Scout level, but yeah. Alright, so I can definitely hear some water flowing now. There's a bridge up in front of me with some massive beware, danger signs. I'm going to try and find somewhere to stash the kayak for a moment so I can go and have a little look and have a little reconnaissance and see what it looks like, because there's a whole bunch of fishermen all down the bottom there, and there's a big sign saying no canoeing, no swimming, no kayak. So I'm going to go and have a little look past and see what the options are, otherwise I might be stuck. Gonna hide the kayak and all my kit under that tree. Go and have a little look. I've got a funny feeling this is going to present a bit of a problem. Lots of no unauthorised entrance, lots of keep out, keep out, keep out. No canoeing, no boating, no nothing. This could be tricky. So I've just walked all the way up and down this bank, and they've got this little bit of the river really locked down. These are the first signs I've seen in the entirety of this adventure that are like no boats, no watercraft, no canoeing, no nothing. Nobody's allowed here, just a fisherman. Now the weir itself I reckon I can get over. That doesn't look like it physically presents a massive challenge, but these eagle-eyed fishermen getting the hump. It's just like this stretch of river I need to punch through. I'm starving. I was really hoping to get a whole load more paddling done today to get further down, but what I'm thinking is I'm going to take my kayak back up the river around the corner, set my tent up, make some food, have a drink, relax and get a really early night. Set my alarm for daybreak. Literally the moment there's some semblance of daybreak, I'm going to get up, get the kayak ready and get down there and punch through this before anybody's hopefully up. And if I just paddle, then I might make it through this whole stretch without any wardens, fishermen or gamekeepers or whoever it is patrolling, getting the hump. I think that's the new plan. See if we can pull this off.
There's our vessel.
Probably going to shave a year off of my life, this meal, but right now I just don't care. Don't judge me right now. You know, I have an idea. What I'm thinking I might do is, rather than set the tent up on the kayak, I might just roll out my sleep mat, put my sleeping bag on top and just sleep in that without the tent up. Two reasons. Firstly, I think I'll probably wake up even earlier because it will be a little chillier, but also it'll be less to pack away in the morning. Now if I want to get through this stretch of river without being detected, I need to get, just as soon as I'm up, I need to get it done. So time's going to be really valuable. So if I don't have to go to shore, take down a tent, pack it all away, if I can just boot it straight down there, I think that might be the way to go. Bare essentials tonight. After this, of course. I think that's the mission. See how we go. Right, I'm just going to very quickly empty everything out of the kayak, tip it out, get all the water out, and then set myself up ready for a nice early night. That is unfortunately where I managed to puncture this amazing bit of kit, but truth be told, I have kicked the arse out of this thing really. But all in all, she's holding up pretty well. Right, let's get set up for bed. And given that I've managed to get a little bit wet, getting into something dry, especially thermals, is going to be the one. All right, so this is us for the night.
under the stars. And it is going to be fairly cold, so I've actually decided to boil up a little bit of water, and that will be for the hot water bottle.
I've got a couple of pairs of socks on, I've got some dry clothes, got my thermals, and then if it gets particularly cold, I've also got, see that little light? Oh, electric jacket with 2 batteries, so I should be good. The only thing that could possibly scupper my plans for a comfortable night's sleep is rolling off the kayak. That would suck. Or, I guess in the grand scheme of getting wet, it could rain. It shouldn't rain, it's not predicted to rain. There are a couple of ominous grey clouds way off in the distance, but hopefully we'll be alright. Other than getting wet, I think we'll be fine. Alright, I'm almost looking forward to a nice early night. Alright, I'm just letting the current take me a little bit further downriver. There's a wide section here, just underneath these power cables, where you can't actually see the path. More importantly, people from the path won't be able to see me. So, I'm just drifting down, and I'm probably going to put the anchor out somewhere there, and I think this will do. Turns out I was actually spotted from the shore. As in this clip here, I was currently being shouted at by a river bailiff and told that I had to get off the water. Flying the drone probably didn't really help with my discretion. Alright, I have to be quiet. I was just further up the river, down by the weir, and I got challenged by a fishing bailiff. I had no idea anyone could even see me. I was in the middle of the river. I thought it was a pretty decent spot. I did send my drone up though, so my drone might have attracted some attention. Anyway, he came down and shouted at me. He's like, "Oi, what are you doing? You can't be here." I can't obviously go further down the river. And he's like, "Right, you have to get out. You have to go further up, back where you came from." So I'm like, "Oh." So I've paddled slightly further up the river, and the willow trees squeeze in a little bit here. I don't think he hasn't seen me. I don't think I can be seen easily here, but look. If you're wondering why the footage looks a bit rubbish now, it's because it's my phone. All my stuff's packed away in case I need to just quickly make a quick getaway. But there's nowhere I can go. So I'm going to stay here. I've buckled down for the night. I'm all tucked in. I've put all my stuff away. I'm going to stay really quiet. Hopefully, by the time it gets dark, he hasn't seen me and he's gone home and finished for the day. And then the second it gets light, we're bolting out of here. We're getting over that weir, through that fishing ground, and down into the estuary. I have been looking on ChatGPT, and it gave me some common law arguments that I could make for kayaking down the area they say I'm not allowed to. And that argument is, if the river was ever used for commerce, like hundreds of years ago, in English common law, there's a legal argument you can make for anything that's ever been used for commerce, river-wise, which this was once upon a time, can legally be navigated by watercraft. So I'm sure the old boys club that own that bit of river will kick up, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But first things first, I've got to get through tonight. Not get busted again by the bailiff. Or the river warden or whoever it is. I'm just assuming it's a bailiff. Alright. I'll keep you posted. It's just dawning on me perhaps why I should have put the tent up. Bzzz, you might not be able to hear it, but you'll no doubt be able to see them. Bailiff still hasn't found me yet, so it all seemed like a good idea at the time. Fingers crossed I don't get malaria. Alright, that is the last of the daylight now. And I think, probably can't see me here. I'm hoping that the bailiff's given up and gone home now. Or I've got bats flying around my head. Okay. Or I daren't put the lamp on again just in case someone's here, but I'll see you guys when the sun comes up. It is 5:30 in the morning, it's still pitch black, and I'm going to start packing away my sleeping bag now. Everything's a bit damp, and then I'm going to start heading down towards the weir. So hopefully as soon as it gets light I can just get down there and get through this little contested stretch of water, and then hopefully by that point, by the time all the fishermen and bailiffs and everyone comes back out, hopefully I'll be through it and on my way down to Christchurch. I'm now a little bit behind schedule, so hopefully this super early start will get me right back up to speed. So right, it's going to be difficult to film much of the packing away in this, but here we are. I've just packed away my sleeping equipment, and I'll be able to do a slightly better job when it's light, I'm sure. So let's head to the weir. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that or even see that. It's still pretty dark. Daybreak's starting to come. That's the weir right there, and it's under the cover of darkness that I'm going to try and get down this side. I believe this side was alright. If I go to that middle section, that would be a real issue. But if I remember correctly, the water here was almost dried up, and it was like a dry looking bank down to the river on the bottom. So alright, we're through the weir. Let's get paddling. I'll catch up with you guys when daylight really kicks in. Getting through the fishery stretch of river under the cover of darkness was the plan, but little did I realise just how hard that was going to be, with a seemingly impenetrable wall of marsh right at the start of this stretch of river, with no clear way through in the darkness. Alright, good morning again. Now it's daylight, I feel like I can have a proper conversation with you, but whew, I was up at 5:30 this morning in the dark, packing up my boat to get down that weir on that heavily policed private fishery, and getting down the weir itself wasn't too much of a problem. What came afterwards was the problem, because the water was flowing so fast and it threw me into this thick marsh and I couldn't see which way I was meant to go. It was a bit like this actually. Now imagine going through all of that, but it's pitch black and you can't find your way and you can't turn around, it's too deep to step out. It was an absolute battle, an exhausting battle to get through that, but there's still quite a lot of that marsh dotted along the river, but I think I'm through the private estate now, and there's a few beautiful houses I'm still going by, so I'm sure people don't want me having a nose in their garden, so I'm going to try and get through these last marshes, and then hopefully it'll clear up a little bit on our bid for the sea. I can hear behind me that all too familiar sound of a weir. I'm not exactly sure how big it is, so I'm just I'll tell you what, just gonna pull over, go have a look, shall we? That looks perfectly doable. But I tell you what I haven't had this morning. I haven't had anything to eat, and I haven't had a cup of coffee. And I'm not going to war before I've had a hot drink. It's just not cricket. Coffee. And I think I'll have the last of this cheese roll. Not the most glamorous breakfast in the world ever, but gets the job done.
There's a hole in my belly that has been filled, and I am caffeined up. I am ready for this last leg. Now the river's starting to get wider and deeper, and I'm seeing a lot more sort of, I guess, urban life is the right way to put it, as we get closer to Christchurch. And I just saw a tiny little beautiful kingfisher just zipped past me. There's no way in the world I was going to capture that on my camera. They're about this big, but yeah, they don't really stop and hang around. But this little neon dot went straight past me. And unless you're a nature photographer that knows where to look, or you happen to be up early in the morning kayaking down the river, it's one of those birds that you just really rarely see. So yeah, it's a lovely little treat. All right, let's go. That is some kind of setup to have at the end of your garden, eh? Look at that boat and then all that solar. That is definitely a boat, I imagine, that goes out to the sea. Probably does a spot of fishing. Which tells me we're close. Heron. They normally spook long before I can get my camera up. Morning. Alright, I imagine that is the last of the low bridges for us now. The boats are starting to get masts on them, so with this many sailing boats, that would tell me it's not too far now to the sea. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the finish line. We are officially in Christchurch. And what a sight, eh? What a sight. Hey. Easy. Easy. How you doing? It's all starting to feel a bit ominous, isn't it? Easy now. Easy. I'm gonna come through, right? I think any one of these is going to start attacking me in a minute. That's it, fight with each other. Just as I was starting to think my swan dramas might be over, these boys have come to see me off. One last hurrah, eh, guys? Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed this mini adventure with me, and if this particular leg of the journey is your first instalment out of this 3-part video series, then the first video you can watch here, the second video you can watch here, and that swan reference will make a lot more sense in those earlier videos when these big birds were way less forgiving. Anyway, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I know when it comes to YouTube, there's like a million different choices you've got, and you decided to click on my ugly mug. I really appreciate it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.